I chose to publish this video simply because I wanted to share with people out there my initial thoughts based on about 30 hours of game of Fallout 76. But before I dive into that, I'd like to make a minor premise on how I approached the series. Because I approached it recently, it was 2020, the early months of the year. And I remember that I would find myself scrolling through the old games section on the then called PlayStation Now. Because, well, I was in that kind of phase where I would start a game, I would play it for 5, 10, maybe 20 minutes at maximum, and then I would just drop it. Not because the game wasn't good, but I didn't want to play them. I couldn't find anything I wanted to play at that time. I didn't have any interest in playing games, unfortunately. Despite the plethora of games that were available on the service and the multiple I physically had purchased, a ton of them were masterpieces. Anyways, after the 10th scroll, I stopped on Fallout 4. I must admit, I was looking at it reluctantly, because despite the fame that I was very well aware of, I didn't like it. I had watched videos of it, the graphics didn't look great. I had watched reviews of it, pictures of it, everything you can imagine, but I didn't see the goodness behind it. I didn't understand why people liked it. It looked pretty ugly to me. It didn't look interesting to me. Don't kill me, please. Nevertheless, given the lack of games I wanted to play, I gave it a chance. And, well, that was the right choice. Because, fast forward to a few months later, and I must admit that I really enjoyed Fallout 4. Because I found myself with more than 100 hours played, thanks to an overall decent story, I would say, interesting companions, a good number of equipable items, and an abnormal amount of loot. I had experienced loot before in Bioshock and games like that, but never to the extent that you have in the Fallout games. And possibly that one characteristic has kept me going alone for hours and hours and hours. In short, I really enjoy Fallout 4. Given these assumptions, it's not hard to imagine why I recently jumped into the boundless world of Fallout 76. I know it's been a few years since the release, but I've heard a lot of things about it, so I was scared to try it out back then. Thankfully, Bethesda has put out multiple DLCs, which have improved the game drastically. Anyways, talking about Fallout 76, I'd like to begin by briefly mentioning the novelties. First of all, the game world. Appalachia is a large area made up of multiple distinctive regions. Personally speaking, I find it to be a very pleasant and somewhat relaxing setting. I like the general atmosphere of the game. It is not too dissimilar as far as the color palette is concerned to what my eyes are used to seeing every day during the autumn season. In fact, the tones are generally warm on shades of yellow, red, orange, framed by blue skies studded with clouds and dense, colorful forests with flashes of eccentric, bright and eye-catching shades like pink. All this creates a more candid and delightful atmosphere. I find it to be a welcoming world, despite, obviously, the enemies. I wouldn't say that it is a superior setting compared to the one in Fallout 4, but, well, they simply give two different feelings to the player, so I can't choose. second novelty, 76, has a fresh and unique screen, where to manage perks and skill ups in place to the one we were accustomed to. This new page presents the improvements in the shape of cards, so as to create the ideal deck to match our playing styles. I must admit that I do like this new screen. It is pretty intuitive and easy to learn. Finally, the last novelty is multiplayer, which is obviously the hallmark of Fallout 76 from the rest of the franchise. Yet, I will dwell even more briefly on this feature because I essentially haven't used it. I mean, I've seen people around the map, I've met other players, but never tried to approach them. I've never gotten approached, so that's it. The problem with this is mine, simply because I find it weird to talk at the game whilst there are other people in the house. Yes, I never approach people because I'm too shy for that, but that's it. But basically, it is possible to face the adventures that the game world offers to us, accompanied by those people we prefer. May they be our friends, people we know, or complete strangers met online on the map. As for the rest, well, the formula in the engine remained the same as in Fallout 4. With all the defects and the qualities that follow, we have the same management of weapons, equipment, materials, etc. These same workbenches where to upgrade, craft or get rid of stuff in our inventory. These same graphics from the 360 PlayStation 3 era, exactly the same, at least to my eyes. Just slightly dusted off. But I don't even think that they're just upscaled in pixels. They don't look fresh. I mean, the world is larger. Once you are in the game, you don't mind it too much. I like the art style, as I said, so I've gotten used to it. And last but not least, the same merciless plunder that, as I said before, made me fall in love so much with Fallout 4. I've spent about 70% of those 30 hours just looting stuff. Maybe a little bit too much, I must be honest, because I have just gotten to the training session of the game, which is one of the first missions, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it is a problem, but at least I don't have it in real life. Anyways, as a result, what I can say to finish up this video is that I am approaching this title in a rather different way compared to how I generally play games, because I am leaving the story a little bit to the side and experience the adventure as it comes. I don't follow the missions, I just happen to do a mission when I'm on it. Simply because ever since I left the vault, I have long and carefree walks. Wherever I want to go, I am guided only by instinct. I stop at places that catch my eye. I loot everything I can find in that place. I explore, that's what I'm doing. The beauty of Fallout lies in the discovery. Anyways, this is it for the video. I hope it was decent at least. Have a nice day and I hope you well. Bye.